When I was a kid growing up in the 90s, Ren and Stimpy were everywhere. Except in my household because we didn't have cable, so I never really saw the show. Even today, I've only seen a handful of episodes, and I get a chuckle out of it, but it's that gross out type of humor that just never really appealed to me. But with something as big as Ren and Stimpy, there were video games, and most of them you've already heard about from other YouTubers, and the majority of them are crap. But there's one I wanted on the Game Gear, and that was Quest for the Shaven Yak, starring Ren, Hoek, and Stimpy. Is it Hoek? Hoek? I don't know. And that's a weird title because you think it would be Ren and Stimpy, Quest for the Shaven Yak, but no. Look at that title. It's Quest for the Shaven Yak, starring Ren and Stimpy. We're just going for Ren and Stimpy. We don't need Ren's last name. Anyway, this was a fantastic title on the Game Gear. As you can see here, I've got it on the Master System, ported once again by our lovely friends down in Brazil at Tectoy. And they've once again done a fantastic job of converting a Game Gear title into a console title. Now, I've said this before about many of the Tectoy games. This game is fully in English, like everything I've played that was a Game Gear conversion, aside from Echo the Tides of Time for whatever reason. And it's no different here, so there's no language barrier for us English speakers. You can pick this up and play it, no problem. Now, at first, this might seem like your typical generic platformer. It's even got your usual levels, a forest, a desert, a tundra, a swamp, all that. But the game is just a little bit different. First of all, the art style. It perfectly emulates the TV show for which it is based. The game looks fantastic. Ren and Stimpy's animations are great. You've got waiting animations if you stand around too long. You've got various weapons at your disposal, including a TV remote control and toast, I believe. Maybe it's just bread, maybe it's toast. I don't know, for whatever reason, I've always loved using that, though. It's got this weird, crazy pattern, but it's kind of fun to hit things from underneath with. You've got power-ups like the Happy Helmet, which will even play the Happy Happy Joy Joy song. See, I may not have seen the show, but that music video was everywhere, so that I'm aware of. And that's something else. The music in this game, top-notch. There's only a couple of tunes, but they work perfectly. It's upbeat and happy. Really goes with the vibe of this particular game. Now, the plot here is that the Shaven Yak has left his hooves at Ren and Stimpy's place, so now Ren and Stimpy have to go find him, or there won't be another Yak Shaven Day, which is apparently their favorite holiday. If that sentence made no sense to you because you've never seen the show, don't worry. It makes no sense to me, but it makes me giggle every time. There are some fantastic cutscenes in this game that really pull the story together, and that's something else for a game of this era, especially a platformer, to have these scenes that really pull everything together and tell a story is a little bit more on the unique side. It was done not too often back then, and that helps set the game apart. Another thing is that many games of this style, if you had two characters, they'd usually share lives and health bars. Here, Ren and Stimpy do not. They each start the game with 3 lives, and they have their own hit points. And every time you end a level, however many hit points you have, at the end of that level, that character has in the next level. So say you take too much damage in a boss fight with Ren, but you have more hit points with Stimpy, you can use Stimpy for the next couple of levels until you get to a safe spot to switch back to Ren. The other thing I like is the character selection screen. I find it absolutely hilarious when the character you pick walks over to the other character, rolls them up into a ball, and shoves them into their pocket. That is comedy gold right there. Now, there's one little problem with this game. If you have a working Game Gear or you're an emulation fan, you've got no problem. The game is cheap or free. If you want it on the Master System like I have here, you're not getting it on the Master System like I have here. This game costs a small fortune like so many of these Tectoy Game Gear conversions do. The only reason I have a copy is I got really, really stupid lucky about 8 years ago in an auction, much like I did with my copy of Legend of Illusion. Don't hold back and wait to get a copy of this game or just to play a copy of this game. To get the deal like I did, go get it on the Game Gear, go download a ROM, whatever you got to do, because Ren and Stimpy Quest for the Shaven Yak, Quest for the Shaven Yak, starring Ren and Stimpy, is an absolute must-play for any fan of 2D platformers, whether you're familiar with the franchise or not. It is just a great game and kind of overlooked, especially in the plethora of terrible Ren and Stimpy games like Big Buckaroos on the NES. This one really stands out, not just as a good Ren and Stimpy game, but as a good game in general. So go find yourself a copy and play some Quest for the Shaven Yak.